Hey everybody, it's Mac, and we are going to do some multi-step algebra equations. We're going to have the variable on both sides, and maybe we'll mix in some combining like terms and things like that. This will be a lot like version B. So if you just kind of stumbled across this, if you go to maxtutorials.com, you'll see lots of videos on how to do lots of different algebra problems. So if you're just working on this version, cool. But there's also a version A and B where I do work these out a little bit slower, a little more detailed. On C, this is the third time going through. I'm probably going to blaze through these pretty quickly. You can always go slower. You can hit pause. My suggestion is you try this page on your own, and then you check the answer key, which is basically go to the end of this video and see what I wrote, and then see how you did. If you got some wrong, watch how I worked it out. All right. So here we go. Make it nice and big. Number one, I look for things that I can combine, and I can see I can combine like terms right here. That would give me a 7x minus 3 equals 2x plus 22. Numbers on one side, letters on the other. So I'm going to go minus 2x. I always move the variable first, and I do it in the direction to keep it positive. Okay, I find that to be not the only way to do it, but probably the way that most students will do it without making mistakes. Okay. It kind of avoids some negative numbers a little bit. Not all of them, but it avoids some of them. And it makes it a little bit easier to do. Okay, let's go on to number 2. Do I have anything to combine? Yeah, look, 7 and a 5. So it's going to be negative 3y, or positive 7 plus 5, this is positive 12, equals y minus 12. All right, well, let's go numbers on one side, letters on the other. So I'm going to add 3y to both sides. Okay, boom, die, and I get 12 equals, that's a 1y. So 1y plus 3y is a 4y minus 12. Now I need to move this 12 over to the other side. So I'm going to add 12 to both sides. Boom. They're going to go away, and I'm going to get 24 equals 4y. I'm going to divide each side by 4, and I get 6 equals y. Again, it doesn't matter which side the letter is on. It's okay to have it on the left. Number 3, I'm looking at these m's right here. They're on the same side. Don't go minus 6m, or minus 4m. Don't do that. When they're on the same side, all you do is you put them together. You just do whatever math it tells you to. If it tells you to plus, plus. If it tells you to minus, minus. Okay? Now, we have to flip to the other side. When we flip to the other side, that's when we do the opposite and we do the plus or the minus, okay? So here, that's going to get rid of my 3m's. I'm going to be left with 7m minus 8 equals 20. Now I need letters on one side, numbers on the other. So I'm going to go plus 8 to both sides. Boom, die. 7m equals 28. Divide by 7. They cancel out. And I'm left with m equals 4. Boom, 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 boom. Number 4, okay, is there anything I can combine? Yeah, look, numbers on the same side. So I'm going to get negative 2a, positive 5. Well, what's 5 minus 1? It's a positive 4. Okay, and that equals a minus 10. I'm going to add 2a to both sides. Could I have gone minus a to both sides? Yeah, I could have. But I like to keep my variables positive. I find that works better in the end. That's going to be a 3a. Don't write 2a squared or anything like that. I've got 2 pencils. I add another pencil. I have 3 pencils. That's how you want to think about these variables. If for some reason any of these are a little difficult to you, especially when I get here to the 2-step problems, I have other videos at maxtutorials.com. And if you go to those videos, I work these out a lot slower. Ooh, I got a fraction answer. That freaks me out a little bit. I don't know why it shouldn't. A equals 14 over 3. Boom, 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 boom. Or you could write, oh, what is that? 4 2/3 if your teacher likes it that way. Let me just make sure. Sometimes it's a little weird when you get these fraction answers, but you're allowed to have them. There's nothing wrong with it. Plus 10, 14. Yeah, that looks good to me. Here we go. Number 5, I've got some p's that I can combine. So I'm going to go 7p minus 12 equals 2p plus 18. Let's keep our p's positive, and the best way for me to do that is to subtract 2p over here. Okay, I have 2p. 5p minus 12 equals 18. Now I need letters on one side, numbers on the other. So I'm going to go ahead and add my 12. Boom, die. And I'm left with 5p equals 30. Then I just divide each side by the coefficient, and I get p equals 6. Boom, 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 boom. Let's go on to number 6 now. I have a number. I have a letter. I have a number, I have a letter, and I have a number. Nothing to combine. So now I can start flip-flopping, okay? I'm going to add 6n to both sides because when I do that, I'll just drop down to 2. I'm going to get a 7n. Remember, that's a 1n minus 19. Now, I need to be able to, that looks like a z, doesn't it? I got to get better at that. I'm sorry. Let me make that a nice, pretty looking 2. I don't know if that's pretty, but it looks more like a 2 than a z. Here we go. Boom, boom. They die, and I get 21 equals 7n, which I love because, whoops, because it's nice and even, and I get 3 equals n. Great. Number 7, I have a letter plus a number equals a letter minus a number. Okay, I can go straight to here. I have nothing to combine on either side. Okay, so now they're going to go away. I'm going to be left with 3b plus 11 equals negative 10. Now I want letters on one side, numbers on the other. So I'm going to go, whoops, minus 11, boom, die, 3b equals, let's stop and think, add a line, change the sign. That's going to be a negative 21. Divide each side by 3, boom, b equals negative 7. I worked on positive and negative numbers in chapter 1 on the maxtutorials.com, so that'll help you with the negative numbers. Also combining like terms I did on chapter 1. And then here in chapter 2, the 2-step and the 1-step problems. I spent a lot of times on the first couple videos on those. So again, if I'm going too quick on any of these things and you feel like I'm just kind of blazing through a little bit too much, do me a favor and go look at those videos. And I think once you do those and feel super comfortable, you'll be okay with me moving at this speed. Plus 8c plus 8c. Why? Because I want to keep my c's positive. Because now I'm going to get an 8 equals, that's going to become a positive 4c minus 20. I'm now going to add 20 to both sides. Boom, die, and I get 28 equals 4c. I'm running out of room, so I'll just go like that. I'm going to divide each side by 4, die, and I get 7 equals c. Look at that. Oh, what happened to that? 7 equals c. Obviously, there's an erase mode on here that I haven't learned yet. All right, so there's one column. Let's move over to the next column. All right. Number 9, is there anything to combine on either side? And the answer is yeah, I've got two numbers here. So 6r, now it's negative 4 plus 2. Signs are different. Subtract, keep the sign of the bigger number, which is negative, equals 2r plus 18. All right, so now let's keep our r's positive. Let's minus 2r right here. Now remember, I talked in the earlier versions, you can move anybody. It doesn't matter. You're going to get the right answer. It doesn't matter who you move first. But if you move the variable to the direction that keeps them positive, I find that less errors happen. And so I suggest that way. You don't have to, but I suggest it. I think you'll do better. Okay? Finishing this out, I'll get an r equals 5. Okay? Going on to number 10. Ooh, I got some cues to combine. Let's do it nice and slowly. Add a line, change a sign. And remember, that's like a 1 cue, right? Negative 4 plus negative 1 is negative 5, and that's a q. Plus 10 equals negative 2q minus 14. Got to make sure that those don't look like 9s, right? Okay, so now I have variables on both sides. I could go plus 2, but I'll still be a negative 3. So I'm going to go plus 5. I should say 5q. I apologize. Boom. And I'm going to get 10 equals 3q minus 14. Now I'm going to add 14 to both sides. Boom, boom. I'm going to get 24 equals 3q. Starting to run out of room, but I want to show it here. And boom, I'm going to move over here to show you that 24 divided by 3, that's going to be, whoops, that's going to be an 8 equals q. Boom, 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 boom. Number 11, we're going to combine the letters. That's going to give me 9w. Don't go minus 2. I see students do that a lot. The only time you would go minus 2 is if you're going over the equal sign. We are not crossing the equal sign. We're combining on the same side, so we just do the math. I want to go minus 3w because I want to keep my w's positive. And I'm going to get 6w minus 9 equals 29. Now, if I add 9 to both sides, I'm going to get 6w equals 38. If I divide by 6, my w equals 38 over 6, which could also be, oh, let's cut these both in half. That would be 19 over 3. Okay, now let me look to see if I made a mistake because I see these fraction answers and it makes me double check stuff. Look at this right here. You guys probably saw this way before me. That should be a 27, right? And that'll drop a 27. 27 plus 9 is a 36. And 36 divided by 6 is 6. Always check your answers. I just took a 27 and copied down 29. It's so easy to make dumb mistakes. So always good to go back and look. All right. So now let's take a look at this one. I have a negative 5D and a D. First of all, I go letter, number, letter, number. There's nothing on either side to combine. So I'm going to go ahead and add my 5Ds to both sides. Boom, they die. I'm left with negative 7 equals, remember that's a 1D. 1D plus 5D is 6D. Okay. And I'm going to just drop a plus 17 down. Okay. I'm going to subtract 17 to both sides. Boom. And add a line change a sign that becomes a negative 24 equals 6D. Divide each side by 6, and I'm going to get negative 4 equals D. There we go. All right, let's go on to number 13. All right, I see some numbers I can combine. So 8H, negative 6 plus 2, signs are different, subtract, keep the sign of the bigger number, equals 4H plus 20. I'm going to subtract 4H from both sides. Boom, they die. I'm left with 4H minus 4 equals 20. So now I've got to move my 4 over here, and I'm going to get 4H equals 24. Divide by 4. Sorry, I'm running out of space, and H will equal 6. That's probably really messy. I apologize. I'll do better on the next ones. Okay, on this one, I see that I have two letters that I can combine. Negative 7 plus 2, well, that's just going to be a negative 5. Okay, signs are different. Subtract, keep the sign of the bigger number. Negative 3F minus 15. Now I want to combine my F's. I'm going to choose to go plus 5F to both sides because that will give me a positive F. Again, I didn't have to do it. I chose to do it because I feel like that's an easier way. So I'd love to see you guys do that too. All right, once I do this, boom, die, I get 16 equals 2F. If I divide each side by 2, I get 8 equals F. Boom, 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 boom. Let's go on to number 15. Do I have anything to combine? Yeah, look, right there. 4Z plus 1Z equals 5Z. Minus 8 equals Z plus 16. Now I'm just going to move my Z's around. Let's minus Z minus Z. Don't do this. 5Z minus Z is just a 5. I see students do that all the time. That's not how this works. I have 5 pencils minus 1 pencil. I'm left with 4 pencils. Okay. Sometimes if you put an actual object instead of a letter, it helps you to think these through a little bit. Okay. Now I'm going to add 8 to both sides. Boom, that dies. 4Z equals 24. And if I divide each side by 4, I get Z equals 6. Boom, 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 boom. Okay. Number 16, look, I have V's that I can combine. 9V plus 1V is a 10V. Plus 6 equals a 5V minus 22. Now, letters on one side, numbers on the other. I'm going to move the 5V first. Okay. And when I do that, I'm left with 5V plus 6 equals a negative 22. I want letters on one side, numbers on the other. So now I've got to rearrange the furniture and bring my letters over there. I'm going to get 5V equals, add a line, change the sign, and I get a 28. Now I'm going to get a fraction answer, which is fine, but it makes me wonder if I made a mistake like I did a little bit earlier here. And as I look through, that becomes 10 plus 6. I copied everything down right. Everything's good. I moved to 5. That becomes a 5 plus 6 equals, they die, negative 22. Add 6 to both sides. Everything looks good to me. I did a little double check. V equals 28 over 5. And if you really want to write that as, what would that be, 5 3/5, that's fine. Me as a teacher, I'd just take that answer and be okay with it. Okay. So now there is a process right there. You can see that they all, it's not neat on the penmanship, but it's at least neat as far as the process that I work. I wrote everything down. I talked it all through. And if you do that yourself, you're going to do really well in math too. It's not about how smart you are. It's about how much do you follow a process. And if you follow a process, you're going to get A's in math as well. Good job, everybody. I'll see you on the next section.